Close your eyes for a second and think about the people you trust the most in your life, the ones you feel safest around, the ones you would never doubt, not even for a moment. Now imagine finding out that one of them was hiding a terrible secret. A secret so dark that it destroyed lives and shattered families forever. In many real cases, the person everyone was searching for was never a stranger, never an outsider, but someone sitting right there at the family table. A son who hugged his parents goodnight. A wife who cried in front of the police. A brother who promised to protect. No one suspected them. Not the neighbors. Not the investigators. Sometimes not even the victims themselves. These killers blended into normal family life so well that the truth stayed hidden for months or even years. And when it finally came out, it left everyone asking the same chilling question. How could the real killer be so close and no one notice a thing? Family is supposed to mean love, safety, and trust. From childhood, we are taught that family will always be there for us, no matter what. We believe our homes are the one place where nothing bad can happen. But real life doesn't always follow that rule. In some of the most shocking true crime cases ever recorded, the danger didn't come from the street or a dark alley. It came from inside the house. It came from someone related by blood or marriage, someone who knew every habit, every weakness, and every routine. In this video, we will explore disturbing real-life stories where family members turned out to be the real killers. We'll see how they fooled everyone around them, how the truth slowly came out, and how these crimes changed families forever. These are not just crime stories. They are painful reminders that sometimes the people we trust the most can be the ones hiding the worst secrets of all. It always starts the same way. A family reports someone missing or dead, and everyone feels sorry for them. Police arrive at a quiet house. Neighbors gather outside. Tears are shed. Stories are told about how kind the family was, how close they seemed, how normal everything looked from the outside. In the early hours of these cases, no one even thinks about blaming a family member. Why would they? Family is supposed to protect, not destroy. But as hours turn into days and days into weeks, small details begin to feel wrong. Stories don't match. Emotions feel forced. Reactions feel delayed or too dramatic. And slowly, the focus shifts from strangers to something far more uncomfortable. Someone inside the family knows more than they are saying. Someone is lying. In many of the most disturbing true crime cases, the killer was never running away. They were right there, attending funerals, comforting others, and pretending to be a victim themselves. In the first case, the police believed they were dealing with a tragic accident. A young woman was found dead inside her home, and the scene looked like a break-in gone wrong. Drawers were open, items were scattered, and the front door was unlocked. Her family told police she had no enemies, no dangerous connections, and no reason for anyone to hurt her. Her brother, who lived nearby, was the most emotional of all. He cried during interviews. He begged police to find who did this. He even helped organize search efforts and spoke to the media, asking for justice. At first, investigators saw him as a grieving sibling, nothing more. But when police started digging deeper, small things didn't add up. The break-in looked staged. Nothing valuable was missing. And the timing of the brother's story didn't match phone records. At first, police thought it was just stress or confusion. After all, people don't think clearly during trauma. But the more they checked, the more uncomfortable the truth became. As the investigation continued, police discovered that the brother had been the last person to see her alive. He claimed he left early that evening, but traffic cameras showed his car near the house hours later. When confronted, he changed his story slightly, just small changes, he said. But lies don't stay small for long, they grow. And soon, police uncovered years of hidden anger, jealousy, and control. The brother had been obsessed with his sister's life. He didn't like her independence. He didn't like her relationships. And on the night she died, an argument turned violent. What shocked everyone wasn't just the crime itself, but how easily he stepped into the role of the grieving brother afterward. He cried on cue. He hugged family members. He fooled almost everyone. When he was finally arrested, his parents refused to believe it, even with evidence, even with a confession. That's how strong denial can be when family is involved. In another case, the killer wasn't driven by anger, but by fear of losing control. A husband and wife were seen as the perfect couple. Smiling photos, loving social media posts. Friends described them as inseparable. When the wife suddenly disappeared, the husband appeared heartbroken. He spoke softly to reporters. He said she must have run away or been abducted. He begged her to come home during televised interviews. Police wanted to believe him. It was easier than imagining the truth. But behind closed doors, their marriage had been falling apart. The wife wanted to leave. She wanted a new life, and the husband couldn't accept that. To him, losing her meant losing control, losing his image, losing everything. So instead of letting her go, he decided no one else could have her either. The scariest part of these cases is not the violence itself, but how normal everything looked before the truth came out. Family dinners still happened. Laughter still filled the room. Photos were still taken. And behind it all, someone was hiding a terrible secret. Many of these killers didn't snap in the moment. They planned. They waited. They thought about how to explain things afterward. And most chilling of all, they believed they would never be suspected simply because of their role in the family. A son, a wife, a parent. Society doesn't want to believe these people are capable of such darkness, and that belief gives killers time to hide. As police reopened old evidence, patterns began to appear across many cases. Family killers often insert themselves deeply into the investigation. They want to control the story. They want to know what police know. They want to stay one step ahead. They volunteer information no one asked for. Or they stay suspiciously quiet. Some cry too much. Others don't cry at all. And while every person grieves differently, investigators learn to recognize when grief feels staged, when emotion feels rehearsed, when pain feels performative. It's not proof on its own, but it's a crack in the mask. Children have also been at the center of some of the most heartbreaking family murder cases. Parents are meant to protect their children at any cost. But in rare and horrifying situations, the people meant to keep them safe become the very ones who end their lives. Sometimes it's due to mental illness left untreated. Sometimes it's abuse. Sometimes it's selfishness. Parents who see children as burdens, or as tools for revenge against a partner. These cases often leave investigators emotionally broken, because there is no easy way to understand how love turns into destruction. What makes these stories so difficult is that there are no clear villains at first. There are no masks. No dark figures hiding in the shadows. Just ordinary people with ordinary lives and deeply hidden darkness. And when the truth finally comes out, it doesn't just solve a crime. It destroys entire families. Parents lose children. Children lose parents. Brothers and sisters are left questioning every memory they ever had. Was the love real? Were the smiles fake? Or was there always something broken beneath the surface? As these investigations move forward, one thing becomes very clear to police again and again. When a crime happens inside a family, the truth comes out much slower. Not because evidence is missing, but because emotions get in the way. Investigators are human too. They hesitate, they second-guess themselves. Accusing a stranger is easy. Accusing a mother, a father, a sibling feels wrong. And family members use this hesitation to their advantage. They know people don't want to believe the worst about them. They lean into that trust. They play the role everyone expects them to play, and for a long time, it works. In one chilling case, a mother reported her child missing in the middle of the night. She was frantic, shaking, barely able to speak. The whole town came together to search. Flyers were posted everywhere. Volunteers walked through forests and empty fields. The mother cried on camera, begging for help, begging for answers. But while everyone was looking outward, the truth was sitting quietly inside her home. The child had never been abducted. There was no stranger. There was no mystery trail. The mother had killed her own child during a moment of rage, then carefully created a story that made her look like the victim. What shocked police later was how calm she became once the search began. Almost relieved, as if the attention itself was enough to cover the guilt. When the truth finally came out, people didn't just feel sadness. They felt betrayal. Because they had searched for hours, comforted her, trusted her. In another case, the killer was a son who felt invisible his entire life, always compared to siblings. Always told he wasn't good enough. To the outside world, the family looked fine. But inside the home, resentment had been growing for years. Arguments became common, silence became heavy. And one night, something inside him snapped. After the crime, he didn't run. He stayed. He helped clean. He helped plan the funeral. He accepted sympathy from people who had no idea what he had done. Relationships shatter. Parents are forced to choose between children. Survivors are left carrying guilt for not seeing the signs earlier.